Welcome back. This is Richard, your electrician buddy. Now on this episode, we're going to show you how to install a GFCI receptacle on an exterior wall where there's no power. So hopefully this will help you be able to do this similar type thing. So come along and I'll show you how to get it done. This is the side of a cottage, and as you can see, they have no power along here. There's an old cable that comes out. And if you see, they got an extension cord that they're using to plug into a piece of a pool equipment. So how can we get a receptacle right here? Well, let's go check it out and see what we can do. We're gonna walk inside. Along this wall here, I don't see power along that edge. So we'll go into the other room. And here's an overhead light. Because it's old, there's no power out here. But right here is a receptacle right there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to tap off of that and we're going to go to the outside. So we'll go straight through the wall and we'll mount an exterior box. It'll be GFCI protected. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that this circuit is dead and see how we can get through the wall. So let's first of all kill the circuit. So there's our receptacle, and now we got to find our panel. Now I understand the panel is right behind this picture here. So let's see what we got here. See if we can find it. Ah, there it is. So what we're going to do then is we're going to see if we can determine which one of these breakers is that outlet. So let me go get my meter and also a couple of tools so we can open up and see what we can do to get the wire out. So let me go get my meter. So I have my meter here, and I'm going to set it on this setting right there, and then we'll walk over and let's see if we can figure out which outlet, which breaker controls it. I'm going to go ahead and pull the cover plate off. And there you can see our connections in there. And I am reading 123 volts. So let me go shut a breaker off and see if we can kill it. There's our panel. I'm going to go to the center room right here. Okay, turned off the lights in the room, but let's make sure that receptacle is dead. So back over here. Back down to the panel, hard to see, but it says 0 volts. So that means I can work on it. So this is what I'll do next. Next, I'm going to remove the receptacle and see what I can do to get out to the outside. So let me remove the receptacle. Okay, so I got the receptacle out, and I got a light so we can see what we're doing. And ran it off a different circuit. But now when you look inside my box here, it may be a little hard to see. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bit and I'm going to go straight through the back and out the other side. And so let me get that. There you go. And then looking around to make sure there's nothing back there. Okay, so if you can see there, now I've got a hole all the way to the outside. So let's go outside, and now we'll mount the GFCI and we'll get it wired up and then come in and tie this in. Okay, here is where the hole came out. So that's where we're going to put our box. Okay, now on this box, see these little tabs here? You could knock those out if you want to and go mount the box like that. But they plan on putting new siding over the house, and so for now, we're going to mount it like this. And normally, once I mount the box, normally I would seal 3 sides, top and just the 2 sides. You don't want to seal the bottom, because if for some reason any water penetrates in there, it'll run out the bottom. Now go get some wire. I'm going to show you something that's important here, is that always make sure you have some extra wire. Try to determine maybe 6 inches at least coming out of the box, not more than that. And this way we can fold it up in. And we're going to need that because if down the road they ever need to replace that, they need to have something to work with. So I strip my wires back, basically about 3/4 to a 1/2 inch at the most, like so. Get our GFCI, and I'm going to see how the ground is. Yeah, everything goes under the screws. Now on these, it says line load. Line is where the power comes in, so we always go to the line side first. You'll notice the white is on this side, and it's always on the same side as the ground screw. Make sure nothing's touching. And yet I got extra wire in there so that we can always replace it if need be or work in here. Yep. Just like so. Okay, now we're in the inside where this wire comes out of the wall. We're going to shorten it to a reasonable degree. And I'm going to take and twist this back. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to unhook my ground wire. And the reason is so that I can twist it correctly. Let me get my lineman's. It's always good to make sure you use a tool to get a nice tight ground on it. That's what they call a mechanical twist. That way it cannot come loose. You want a good ground. There. Okay, there's your ground. As you notice, the screws are filled. So how are we going to add on another wire to it? You can't put two under a screw. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some little pigtails. And to do it to where it's nice and a good connection, I'll show you how I do this. Okay, notice I'm going to make all the wires the same length. And then we're going to add another wire. Then I'll take it about so far back so we can get a good mechanical twist. So I want them all to start out about the same length. Like so. I cut off the little nip right there so that they're all even. And then we will put a wire nut on this. That's bonded. Now I'm using my lineman's, but don't go very much. You don't want to crack it, whatever. And there you go. So there's one. And being that's ready, I'm going to go ahead and hook it up so we can get to the other side. So I just strip it back 1/2 inch in my plier, right, my strippers. There's a little hole right there. This is designed for this. Puts the exact bend you need right on it. Just like so. As you can see, you're perfect right around the screw. And we'll snug it up tight. And we repeat it on the power side.
And you just fold the wires up in there neat, test the fit, and just make sure nothing's shorted up in there. You know, so you glance in there. Like looks like the ground may be scooting up a little bit. So while it's still dead, I can just take it and just kind of scoot it out of the way. There we go. There it is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn the power on. We'll go out and check the GFCI and check this one. We'll check this one first because we're inside. So here's my meter. So let me go turn the power on. There it is, 0. And there's our voltage. So everything is good on it. So we'll go outside, check our GFCI. As you can see the red light on, which just means it's, right now it's not, it needs to be reset. There it is. Test, reset. Now the customer has a GFCI outside. So that was how we installed the GFCI on the outside of an older building. And there's some different techniques that of course we could put into practice there. I like to always use like a green wire nut in regards to the grounds. But at the same time, also around the outside of the box, I always like sealing 3 sides because they're getting ready to do some work on the house. And it gives them at least a GFCI protected outlet for the outside. So this is Richard. I am your electrician buddy, and please subscribe. And I got many more videos coming your way, but I need your help. So hit the like button, and hopefully this helps you, gives you some ideas on some things that you can do in order to improve the electrical on your home.